My 14-year-old son beat his dad's new wife unconscious at their wedding, and I'm so proud of him. The call came through my commanding officer. Your son committed felony assault at his father's wedding. You need to get home now. I was on a base in Germany and hadn't seen my boys in 8 months. Now my teenage son, who stopped wrestling because he hated hurting people, was facing charges for brutalizing a woman at the altar. After an 18-hour emergency flight, I headed to my ex-husband's house where my son was. The wife's dark blood was still stained by the driveway. I rang the doorbell. My ex-husband Conrad answered, his face twisted with rage. We're pressing charges. I'm not taking anyone's side until I see both, I said, pushing past him. The living room was a tribunal. Conrad's parents on the couch, his brother Potter by the fireplace, his sister Fen in the corner, the bride's parents standing like guard dogs, and in the center the bride, Lauren, with a splinted nose, 2 black eyes, bandages across her face. She was crying, dabbing her eyes carefully around the swelling, and there, surrounded by this mob, sat my son, my 14-year-old who refused to kill insects because he could have been born an ant, who taught his little stepbrother origami. He sat perfectly straight, chin raised, looking me dead in the eyes with zero regret. He looked proud of what he did. Your son destroyed our family, Conrad spat. Look what he did to her face. Lauren sobbed harder. He's an animal. They're trying him as an adult, right? Grandpa shook his head in disgust. I looked at my son. His knuckles were still bruised and swollen. There seemed to be no real excuse. But then I asked for his side of the story. He looked around the room slowly, taking in every face. Then he spoke, voice clear. You want to know the truth? She's been molesting me for 6 months. That's why I did it. My world stopped, but the room exploded instantly. Liar! Disgusting! How dare you! Lauren's face shifted for just a second before she wailed louder. He's making it up. I've been nothing but loving. Her mother stepped forward, pointing at my son. You evil little... But her father grabbed her arm, his face pale like he'd been expecting this. In the midst of all the chaos, my son pulled out his phone and swiped to his hidden photos. She said 14-year-old boys always want it. Said I should be grateful. I saw the images over his shoulder and my stomach turned. Conrad's hands were shaking as he stared at the screen. Those could be... Anyone could have. But his voice was hollow, like he was reading a script he didn't believe. Lauren tried to snatch the phone. Those are out of context. I was just... She stopped, realizing she'd just admitted they were real. My son stood up, voice shaking with rage. Dad, I told you 3 months ago. You said she's just being affectionate. Conrad started stuttering. I didn't. I thought... Grandpa, you laughed. Said lucky boy. Wish I had that problem at 14. Grandpa's face went from red to white. He looked at Lauren, then at his grandson, and something crumbled in his expression. Aunt Fen, you told me don't be dramatic. Fen was backing toward the door, tears streaming. Oh God. Oh God. I thought you were just... Uncle Potter, you said I should be grateful. Potter had his head in his hands. Jesus Christ, I was joking. I didn't know she was actually... Grandma, you said boys can't be raped by women. Grandma collapsed into the couch, rosary beads in her hands, whispering prayers. Every single one of you told me to shut up about it. Lauren's parents were having a whispered argument. Her father hissed, not again, Patricia. You said she was better. The word again hung in the air. But that's not why I hit her, my son cut through. Everyone immediately froze. What do you mean that's not why? I asked. Last week I caught her coming out of Tommy's room at 2 a.m. He's 9. My blood went cold. Tommy was my ex-husband's 9-year-old son. Lauren's mask finally slipped completely. That little brat came on to me. Conrad grabbed her by the shoulders. What did you just say? For the first time, real fear flashed across her face. My son was crying now. Ugly, gasping sobs. The morning of your wedding, I begged you. You said not today. I knew nothing I'd say would stop her, so I stopped her the only way I could. My son then wiped his tears and ran upstairs. He came down carrying Tommy, who buried his face in his shoulder. Tommy, did Lauren touch you? The little boy nodded. Then he pulled up his pajama shorts, bruises on his inner thighs. Lauren's mother screamed at her daughter. You promised! You went to therapy! You promised this would never happen again! Lauren stood there, all pretense gone, her bruised face twisted in contempt. That's when my son spoke again. We're children, and every adult in this room chose her over us. I called 911 immediately. Lauren's family was begging me to talk, telling me they'd drop the charges, but I wasn't listening. Well, that's when Lauren ran to the bathroom. I don't know what she did in there, but I didn't care. 10 minutes later, she came out just as police were at the door. They took her away. I took my son Tommy and drove to my best friend's place. But 2 hours later, my phone rang. The detective's voice was serious. We need you at the station immediately. I drove with my stomach in knots. They led me straight to an interrogation room. Turns out, whatever Lauren planted on her phone in the bathroom had gotten me in hot water, and I was about to find out that monsters like her always have a backup plan. Full story on